Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another What If Civilization Started Over episode here again. And today, in the last episode, we saw the addition of military bases. Well, there've always been military bases, and I honestly forgot what happened last episode. Um, we here will. Sorry, I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but. Before we continue to see our blue team invasion into the red team from that military base in the pink team, we will see the Cyan team. Now, the Cyan team, I'll just say it, they want to move their capital. They say that there's just too much people living there, and they want to build a new futuristic city. Who knows, maybe this will be the first country with two capitals. Okay, first of all, I never realized I made such horrible stars and triangles. Okay, that looks better. And the Cyan team, they are the third most densely populated countries in the entire world. Number 2 goes to this yellow country here, and number 1 goes to the all-time famous purple country. So they will not demolish their old capital, they'll just make a new one. So that is just downgraded to a major city, and they were thinking of building their capital right over here. They actually found 2 spots for this capital. They think they might want to build it here or make it its own separate island. So the elites made their decisions and said that they were going to build the capital not on the coast, but actually right here. You see, this city right here used to be a very important city. It used to be one of the major hubs of the trade routes back in the day that are still being used to this day. Because when the Cyan team had their old capital down here, well, the trade routes didn't run through it. It ran miles north from it. And they decided to make this major city, which has, I don't know, a lot of people, to be their capital. So if we take a look here, the trade routes go through here, right through the city, right up here in the Lion team claim, and then into the disputed area and back into the green team. They also have a thing going from here, and then they have many offshoots from this city right here. So it's a very important city we're looking at right here to be their new capital. Also, one of the first so-called UN assemblies were held in this city right here. The first ever one was held in the red team's capital, and now it's held in this team's capital, the Cyan's capital. Yes, I did forget to mention in the last episode we did have the formation of the United Nations. But it's really unstable because there are only for 4 people in 4 countries inside it, and they are all looking to leave. Who knows, maybe there will be another attempt at the United Nations later. Now if we take a look here, we'll see that in another one of these areas, people from here decided to come here and wanted to retake over this land. The green team, the lion team is having absolutely none of it, and if they want to stop fighting these group of people, they want to stop fighting these group of people, and it looks like they're gonna have to make a peace deal with them. So this country right here is not fully recognized. It's not even a full country. They will just pick this city right here to be their administrative capital, because they have a lot of inner issues to focus on, and not these guys. So they'll give them their own administrative capital for now, before starting over and trying to annex them, but now it's still needed. Now let's get back to this war back here. there are not many red team troops down here. I mean, the nearest military base is all the way up here. So yeah, the blue teamsters do expand up into the actual red team mainland. But once they reach this military base, it's not looking good for them. And the red teams will start to kick out all of the blue teams. Now this was a fairly short war. I mean, they did end up making a peace treaty. Now we see the formation of this Central African Republic like country here. Yeah, they just like popped out of nowhere because the people wanted their own country. And these guys are a little different from most of the people, from most of the countries on this map. Instead of building it near the coast, somewhat near the coast, they actually decided to build their capital outside of the actual country. No, just kidding, but practically outside of the actual country. You see, not really a lot of people live in this part of Africa that I have in yellow right here. Let me just quickly draw it out. Everything you see in yellow is called the empty strip of Africa. And as you can see, the new Central African Republic is not really that densely populated, despite its size. So yeah, that's basically the explanation why this becomes a capital right here, because this is the largest city. And now the natives that live here, finding themselves surrounded by countries, want to make their own country so they're not surrounded by countries. So they form the what's it called? They form the South Central African Republic right here. And I think this might be one of the most unstable countries on planet Earth. Besides, where is it? These three right here. So, yeah, they're pretty unstable, but they build the capital really close to the other team's capital, country's capital. That's only like, what, a few miles apart? You see, the great empty line of Africa is over here, but there are some parts of this country here that are empty. Like, the reason this area here in the middle of the country is empty is because, well, the north has a lake, and the south also has a lake. And these people want to live next to lakes. This capital right here is practically floating on top of a lake. And if we go over here, we find ourselves some sort of Aztec community forming here. Now these guys, they don't really know where they are. They don't really form a capital. They're just a small minority. Not big enough to be their own country. They just exist, you know? Same with many other small pocket minorities around this part of the continent. And many of these countries come together to form the Great Line of Development. Basically, it's a straight line, and anything below this line, well, turns into countries. So all this white space will be divided into a bunch of countries because, yeah. And some of the existing countries will also have land. So this is what the green team gets. Everything here, and, well, they already had this. However, they're not going to reconnect. In fact, the people here want to form a canal. Or a river, I should say. And this would be like a global port controlled by every country in the world. So instead of these countries building their own ports, which literally all of them, besides the Central African country and the purple Central African country, they all have ports, including terrorist Australia, which is what I'm calling the brown country now, terrorist Australia. The rest of this land here will go over to this African country, which is really thriving right now. we'll have like a coastal country snake across the coast. And this area down here is more resort-like. Well, sorry. This area up here is more resort-like, and down here is more like city and industrial and dirty and stuff. But up here is more resort-like. So that's why they built the capital right here. Of course, it's got to be a coastal city, guys. What do you expect me to do? Also, this mountain becomes fully explored. I don't know why it's still gray. It's become fully explored. And we'll have a really maroon country appear here, known as the Western, the People's Republic of North Africa. That might sound stupid, but it's the best I could come up with. They'll make their capital right smack dab in the center of their nation. This right here will be an internationally controlled zone. We have this really dark yellow country with their capital being the closest to the international port zone. And you guys might be wondering, what the freak did I do to the red team? This right here is pure border gore. That looks much better. And the last part for this video is the red team surrounding these two, their puppet nation and their enemy. Well, not really that much of a big enemy because compared to this or that, but they're still enemies. And that is it for this episode of What If Civilization Started Over. As you can see here, we had many new countries. Well, really only these few are new. So,